Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA, and today we're going to be talking about selling to Ikea stores. So if you have a great consumer product that you think should be in their stores or on their website, this little training will give you some things to think about in regards to selling to Ikea. With that said, let's get started on today's training. So let's talk about selling to Ikea. Ikea is a furniture retailer and they've been tremendously successful. They are actually a European company that has expanded to the United States and other locations. They actually have a ton of furniture. If you've ever been to Ikea, it's one big maze. They have anything home accessory related. It's a chaotic experience if you go. They have tons of room. They really have the space to purchase products. And a lot of people with furniture and home accessories and gift product and so forth love selling to Ikea. And some of you really want to know how to do that. So let's talk about Ikea. First of all, they have 72 locations in just North America, but they have 81 in Europe. And then they have some in the Middle East, Asia, Africa, South America, and so forth. They also have franchised locations. So why does that matter to you? If you're trying to sell your home furnishings products to them, first things first, they probably have buyers for you if you have a great product at a really reasonable price. But there's some things to consider. Number one is if they are in North America, they have 72 locations as of now, which means not huge number of stores, and they have a lot of differing products. So that means you're going to make money with Ikea. It's not going to be like selling to other major department stores because there's just not as many in the United States. However, it's still a great opportunity and it's a wonderful place. And the only reason I say that is on a scale of massive volume quantity, there are other retailers that will make you more money, but it's still the Ikea brand. So just letting you know, there's not as many stores in the United States. The other thing is the buyers are different in North America than they are in Europe and other locations. They have to do that. They need a separate setup because someone who buys something in the United States is completely different than someone who buys in Europe in terms of maybe there's in their interest of types of products and so forth. So what that matters to you is if you're trying to sell to them and you don't mind selling overseas and you have that ability, there's an entirely different buyer who would buy for the different locations. So if you try the United States buyers after you reach out to them and they reject you, one thing to consider is would you be willing to sell in maybe Europe? And if that's the case, you can start there. Say Europe agrees and decides to buy your product, you can always take that back to the United States and try to get into those stores, letting them know that you're already a vendor for Ikea in a different location. It sounds simple, but a lot of people don't realize that it's a completely different experience selling to America versus another country. And that means that you could conceivably generate revenue for yourself somehow, even if US rejects you. But again, it's going to require more things to consider, obviously packaging and all the different languages and actually the costs. Again, not all of you are set up for that, but some of you are. And so anyways, just food for thought. Every single country typically has different buyers dealing with different things. And if one says no to you, you can go to the next country. The other thing is if they're franchises, they don't have that many. That means a franchise owner typically has the ability to buy some of their own interesting stuff for their stores. And so to figure out which is the franchise would be supportive for you because you could conceivably go and sell to one individual Ikea if the franchisee is looking for new products. And so the reason I say that is anytime you see a retailer that is franchise owned, typically the owner is allowed to throw in products that matter to them on top of whatever products they are required to buy from the corporation. Ace Hardware is a great example of that. They are corporately owned, but they also have franchises. And the franchisees definitely obviously get stuff from Ace Hardware Corporate. They have a whole system of where they can buy products. But you should see some of the crazy stuff they throw in because they're the owner and they're allowed to throw new stuff in. So anything there's a franchise, that's definitely individually owned, which means you could individually sell to other IKEAs that are franchise owned, which means that you could sell to one store versus all the different stores in that area and so forth. So with that said, IKEA is a really amazing opportunity. The only other thing I would say about them is that since they are so diverse in terms of everything that they're doing, you really need to make sure your product selection makes sense for that retailer. They buy whatever it is that's furniture and home goods and so forth, but does it make sense in regards to what you're currently selling? You're probably not going to be able to have your branded name all over your product a lot of the times with IKEA. And that means that a lot of times they are going to allow you to sell to them. But a lot of times if it's a company-owned product, like they agree to work with you, but their name is all over the product, you're going to have to follow their instructions on how to do that. So what that means is it's not going to be a typical retailer where you can put your product name all over it all the time. A lot of times IKEA has, a packaging and stuff that looks like it's coming from IKEA and so forth. And so there's just going to be more loopholes in regards to the types of different things that you're going to have to deal with if it's private labeled or company owned, which basically means that the organization is literally buying from people like you and then repackaging it for their interest. The way to find out if your product category is going to be part of that is to go walk stores and immerse yourself in IKEA, and also seriously just find the section where your products are in, look around and see where your product could fit. And then also, are all your competitors having anything related to their brand on the information of the product? Are you willing to remove your name off the packaging and everything? Again, there's some things to consider when selling to IKEA. Anyways, if you want to learn how to sell your products to major retailers, department stores, anywhere, including IKEA, please take a look at the links below. We basically teach people how to get into big box retail chains with no sales experience or buyer relationships to the advanced seller. We have been teaching people all over the globe and taught well over 100,000 people on how to sell to chain stores over the last decade, and we would love to support you. We have free trainings on retailmba.com. We have live events done for you, services and so forth. If you want to learn more, just go to retailmba.com or take a look at the information below. Please like, subscribe, keep in touch with us. We're always creating new content, helping you think through working with these different retailers. Karen Waksman, Retail MBA. I hope this helped. Thank you so much.